My parents were wonderful people, and I grew up with my Plymothian mother, who was an atheist, and my dad, a Welsh Seventh-day Adventist, who had his name removed from the roll because he joined the Navy as a sick berth attendant during World War II. Mum believed that if you did not experience something, then you could not choose properly. And that roughly is Romans 10 verse 4. So as soon as I was old enough, Mum took me to the Church of England in Waterloo Street, round the corner from home, every Sunday to the junior church, and then later into the youth club. So time turns around, and then when I was 17 years old, I joined the Territorial Army. And 6 months later, I joined the Women's Royal Army Corps. Basic training happened, and after that, trade training for clerk, and then my first posting, which was Northern Ireland. Now that's 1972, when the Troubles were going on, which actually means that Catholics and Protestants were killing, maiming, and blowing up the other opposite sect in the name of God. Again, we'll move on. I married an army chap. It didn't take really, but I have 2 wonderful children, so no complaints there. But in 1979 we were divorced, and I brought my family home to live with my mum and my dad, who by then had moved to Saltash. Now my mum, still an atheist, did her thing. As soon as my daughter was able, Mum told my father to take her to the nearest church, and we returned to Mum's belief that if you have no knowledge, then you cannot choose. The church was in Burriton, and the minister at that time was Terry Higgins. And on Sundays, my daughter was taken to learn, and after about 6 months, the minister turned up on my doorstep to ask to speak to her mother. Well, that would be me, but I was already at work, 6 days a week at Millendreth Holiday Village as the general manager, so he had to come back, which he did. He not only came back once, but he also every evening came back for the next few months, as he gave me his time to show me that Northern Ireland was not God's work, but man's failings. Then in the August, on a Saturday, which was changeover day, when we all worked over 10 hours to get the holiday makers in and settled, we had a day where everybody was in and settled, no complaints, and we all left by 4 o'clock. The landline rang just as I got home, and the minister was asking if I could do him a favour. His wife needed a lift, as he had to go out that evening in the opposite direction to where she needed to go. I said I would take her to the evening service, which was at the Marine Barracks in Stonehouse, and she said that she would only be about half an hour, so if I could wait, that would be great. And I said, well, that's fine, I've got a book, you know. She said I would be safer inside, so I followed her. Sat down in the chair, watched the band set up, and wondered what was going on. Then I heard a man's voice, but I could not see anyone about me. The voice said, "Be still, you have come into my house, and I want to talk with you, my child. Please understand that I should not have been there. I certainly never expected to hear a voice that no one else could hear, and I wept again for over an hour as God spoke to me. Then I took the minister's wife home, told him what had happened, and on Monday I went to work and told my boss I couldn't work on Sundays anymore, as I needed to go to church. Burton is where you will find me most Sundays."